This is Molly. Welcome to Purpose, where we are chugging along through the Bible, learning the stories so that we can learn how to love God more, so we can get closer to Him, and so we can figure out how to love each other more, because that's not an easy thing to do. And that's our whole purpose for being on this earth, to love God and to love each other. If we can figure that out, shoot, everything else is going to be easy. The only problem is that's really hard to do. And God knew it was going to be tough, so He gave us the Bible to help us figure these things out. So that's what we're doing. We're going through the Bible, reading these stories. We left off in Genesis chapter 35, verse 16. So Jacob's daughter Dinah had just been attacked. He didn't handle that well. His boys didn't handle that well. And now we're going to see what happened after that. So they had to leave the land where they were, and they went to Bethel. I don't know what happened when they were in Bethel. I don't know how long they were in Bethel. I know some of Jacob's sons, his oldest ones, are adults now. They were back when Dinah got attacked, but I don't know how long they stayed there. What I do know is they left. And when they left Bethel, Rachel was pregnant. Now remember, Jacob has two wives who are sisters to each other, Leah and Rachel. And he loves Rachel more than Leah. And he loves Rachel's son Joseph more than his other sons. That never turns out well. It didn't turn out well with his dad, Isaac, and Rebekah. It's not going to turn out well with Jacob. We can't love one group of people more than another group of people. You know, we have to care for everybody. Now, sure, you're going to love your family more than some stranger. And we just are attracted to certain people more than other people. That's true. But we have to love everybody. What do I mean by loving everybody? I mean, pray for everybody. Pray that God touches their hearts. Pray that He brings them peace and happiness and contentment and wisdom, and that He leads them closer to Him. That's what I mean. That's what we need to do. And I'm not sure if Jacob was doing that for all of his kids or not. But what I do know is Rachel was pregnant with another baby. She wanted babies so bad, and so far she'd only had one, just Joseph. In fact, when we talked about the whole baby wars video, she ended up having her maid Bilhah lay with Jacob so that she could have sons through her maid, because she thought she was never going to have any. Well, her labor was hard, very difficult. And her midwife told her, "Don't worry, you're going to have another son. It's a boy." And then Rachel was dying. She did not survive the labor and delivery. And in her final moments, as her soul was departing her, she named the baby Ben-Oni. 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 I don't know how you say it. And then Jacob comes along and changes his name to Benjamin. And I'm like, what the heck? That was her dying wish, to name her son Ben-Oni. And you changed it to Benjamin? Why? Well, if you do a little research, and I think this is correct, I hope it's correct, from my research, Ben-Oni means son of my sorrow, or son of my pain. Benjamin means son of my right hand. So I think Jacob did a good thing here. He didn't want to focus on the fact that he lost a very beloved wife. He loved Rachel so much. And he didn't want to focus on the pain of losing her. He wanted to focus on the joy of her life, the joy that she gave him, which was a baby, Benjamin. And the joy of my right hand means you're going to be my companion. You're going to help me. You're going to be with me. You're going to be my joy. And I think that's what Jacob's teaching us here. When we lose someone, we can't just focus on the pain of their death. We've got to look at the joy of their life, which is way easier said than done, I know. But when you slog through all that pain of the mourning process, hopefully you get through to the other side where there's joy thinking about that person and joy in their life. And Jacob's going to choose to focus on the good and on the positive and on life in this new baby, which I think was good of him. I'm not mad at Jacob anymore for that. So he buried Rachel, and he set up a pillar, which became Rachel's tomb. And they went on to live in another land. And while they were in that land, Jacob's oldest son, Reuben, who's now an adult, had relations with his concubine, Jacob's concubine. It happens to be Rachel's maid, Bilhah, who had a couple of sons with Jacob. So he slept with his brother's mom, with Jacob's concubine. This was a huge show of disrespect for Jacob. I don't know what's going on with these boys of his, but he is not teaching them to love God and love other people. They're just out for themselves. Maybe he's mad at his dad. Maybe he's still mad about everything that happened with Dinah. Maybe he's just a selfish person. I don't know. But something's going on with these boys because they're not doing the right thing. They are not respecting their dad's authority. So then Jacob went into the land of his dad, Isaac. And Isaac was 180 years old, and he died. And Esau came back home, and the two boys, Jacob and Esau, buried their dad, Isaac. The two boys came together, and they buried Isaac. So then it goes on to talk about Esau. He had 3 wives that came from the land of Canaan. They weren't Israelites. They didn't believe in God. And then it goes on to talk about all of his descendants. One of Esau's wives, by the way, was the daughter of Ishmael. Remember Ishmael, the baby Abraham had with his maid? I forgot her name right now. Hagar, the Egyptian maid. So anyway, there's still a tie there between Ishmael and Israel. But it goes through all the descendants of Esau, talking about family and the importance of family. Esau, Jacob's brother, left the religion. He wasn't Jewish. He no longer believed in the one true God. And all of his descendants became the Edomites. Now these are still family. Your family may not believe the same thing you do, but they're still family. And you love them. And you respect them. And you treat them well. But that's just not what happened. If we jump ahead a few hundred years to when Moses takes the Israelites back to the land of Canaan out of Egypt, they're going to have trouble with the Edomites. The Edomites and the Israelites are going to be at war with each other. They're going to be fighting each other. And I think this whole little bit here, which is so easy to skip over. I mean, this is just a little blurb in the Bible. And it's tough reading about all these descendants. It's about family. Reuben didn't respect or love his dad when he laid with the maid. Jacob was thinking about family and love when he changed Benjamin's name to Benjamin, from Ben-Oni to Benjamin. He's thinking, I'm not going to think about death and sorrow. I'm going to think about joy and life and family. And he loved that baby. He could have turned his back on him. He could have been angry and bitter that Rachel died. He could have blamed Benjamin for that death, but he didn't. It was his child, and he loved him. We've got a lot of craziness going on in our world right now. I don't know if you read the news or not, but it just seems like every day somebody else has lost their mind. And you think, what's the answer to it? Is the answer to it voting for the right president? I don't like any of them. Is the answer to it in a religion? Is it in a political party? Is it in, I don't know, the town you live in? Is it in money, having money, not having money? What's the answer to all these problems? Family. Family is the answer to all these problems. We need to start teaching our kids to love God and love each other. Be kind to each other, respect each other. Children need to be kind and respect their parents. How do you teach them that? By being kind and respectful yourself, by teaching them about God, by taking them to church. You know, I failed a lot of ways in this with my kids, and I got lucky that they turned out to be really great human beings. But it's got to start with family. We need to take care of our family, our older family members, our cousins. We need to start small with our husband, our wife, our children. Our entire reason to be married is to get our spouse to heaven, and if we're blessed with children, to get them to heaven. That's our whole reason for being here, so that there's one person on this planet that's going to really work to help us get to heaven, and we're really going to work to help them get to heaven. And then if we have kids, to teach them. And then if they have kids, to teach them. And we keep branching out. Our cousins, our aunts, our uncles, our in-laws, our neighbors, the people in our town. How do we teach people about God? How do we teach a total stranger to love God and love each other? By example. If we love God and we love other people and we pray for those people, pray for your family, pray for the people in your town, pray for the people who are losing their mind and they're in the news and they're rioting and they're going crazy and they're being mean and nasty, pray for them. Pray that God touches their heart and that he shows them his love and his kindness and his peace. We need to pray for each other. And then we need to act. We need to be kind to each other. We need to extend a hand to anybody who needs it. If you see somebody who needs help, help them. I think that's how we're going to solve the problems of the world. And that's in the Bible. It doesn't say that flat out, but it's going to show us what happens when you don't do that. When you get far away from your family, which is what's going to happen between Esau and Jacob's descendants. They're going to get far apart from each other and they're going to start fighting each other. And that's never good. People aren't going to think the same way we do. I mean, if the world thought the same way I did, it'd be a great place to live, right? But people aren't going to believe the same things we do. They're going to have different opinions. That's okay. Even if I don't agree with them, that's okay. They have their right to their opinion, even if I think it's wrong. I can pray for them. I can pray that God opens my eyes so I know what's right and wrong. I can pray for them that God will open up their eyes. Maybe they're right and I'm wrong. How do I know? I could be wrong. But what I know is the whole purpose for these videos, the whole reason for the Bible, is that we have to love God and love each other. We can't be cruel to each other. We can't take sides against each other. Even if people have a different opinion than us, we have to respect them and be kind to them and pray for them. And then maybe things will start getting better. Life according to Molly, I could be wrong there. But that's what I get out of this little blurb here, is that we have to get back to our family and take care of them. Talk about your religion with your family. Start talking about God. Talk about how going to church makes you have more peace in your life. Talk about how when you're scared and you're upset, just hanging out with God and talking to him brings you peace. Maybe that's going to help somebody else in your family. Who knows? Well, anyway, I don't mean to be preachy today. I just really think that God is the only answer to this mess we've got. And we have to start loving him and loving each other and getting to know him better. You can't just believe in God. You have to work every day to get to know him better. And the more we get to know him, the more we're going to share him with other people. Well, when we come back, we're going to find out what's happening to those crazy boys of Jacob's. Are they still getting into trouble? Are they finally behaving themselves? I don't know. We'll find out. I hope you have a wonderful day today, everyone. Bye-bye.